What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we've gotten word of a new $1,000 stimulus check that has been proposed in one state. I'm going to be getting you all the details. They're ramping it up from where they previously were. And also, we're hearing that on a federal level, Democrats are working a way to get something done, because if they do not, we're hearing that in the midterm elections, there's going to be a red wave and Republicans are going to be taking over. And wait till you see the video footage that I've got for you in today's video. This is your stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and breaking news update. Now, we're going to be hearing from Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who, if Republicans take control in the midterm elections in the Senate, will become Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. And he lets us know that 71%, according to polls, Americans say that right now the economy is terrible. We are on the wrong track. And he goes through and says all the reasons why the Biden administration is failing. They have failed us with the economy, and why Republicans are going to be taking control. And he says that when they take control, they are going to make sure that President Joe Biden, who ran as a moderate Democrat, is going to stay a moderate Democrat. Wow. Let me know your thoughts, saying that Republicans are going to come in, they're going to take control, and they're going to help get things back on track. Now, also, we're hearing, though, that progressives and Democrats right now are working a way to make sure that that does not happen. They're in full control of Congress, and they want to stay in control. So what they are trying to do right now, I've been sharing it with you, is they are pulling out legislation, proposals, and bills coming out left and right for stimulus checks, child tax credits, getting rid of student loan debts, all of these things to try to persuade voters to keep them in power. Now, a lot of people are saying too little, too late, and also inflation is out of control. This has been caused by all of this spending, all of this stimulus. It needs to stop. Let me know your thoughts, you guys, but I've got the video footage from Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, possibly soon to be Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who is saying they're going to be stopping this. They're going to get in control, and they're going to take a hold of Congress and what's going on with our country. Now, let's go ahead and dive right in, get you caught up on checks and all of this. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, if you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything going on, don't forget to take a quick second to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, totally free, come join the Ram fam. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. If you got any specific questions for me, hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3, and consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right into the latest and get you caught up on what's happening in Congress with stimulus. All right, so first let's take a look at Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, and then we'll be talking about the $1,000 stimulus check in one state. And let me know your thoughts, because he does not hold back. Man, let's go ahead and take a look.
Totally inconsistent, by the way, with them asking us for $10 billion for vaccines and therapeutics. And what we said in the Senate was, not just we Republicans, but 5 or 6 Democrats as well, let us offer an amendment to guarantee that Title 42 stays in place, and we'd be happy to go ahead and pass the COVID relief package, which, by the way, is paid for by repurposing some of the $2 trillion the Democrats dumped on the economy last year, which Larry Summers has pointed out is the principal reason that we're having 40-year high inflation.
And Larry Summers also pointing out that we could be heading into a recession because we have low unemployment, below 4%. We were just talking to Jen Psaki about that. In the middle of all of this, with wages up, unemployment down, the administration has extended again student loan borrowers. They don't have to pay. Again, so this was supposed to be because of the pandemic. And here you have Bernie Sanders. The extension is not even good enough for him. He tweeted this: cancel student debt, all of it. And that was followed by Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying, I don't think those folks understand the panic and disorder it causes people to get so close to these deadlines just to extend the uncertainty. It doesn't have the effect people think it does. We should cancel them. Where do you think this is going, sir?
Look, I think in this country it's important to remind people that we ought to pay our debts. We ought to pay our debts. And with regard to extending the moratorium, quoting Larry Summers again, he said it's exactly the wrong thing to do in the middle of this overheated economy producing this rampant inflation. This administration just can't seem to get their act together on the economy. That's why the American people are so down on the president. The economy, the precipitous withdrawal from Afghanistan, the domestic energy issue we've already been discussing, crime, problems in public education. This administration has really got its hands full, and I think they're headed toward a pretty good beating in the fall election.
I wanted to ask you about the midterms next anyway, so you have a great way of transitioning, sir. So inflation, gas and groceries, this is on everybody's minds. What would be different for Americans if Republicans win back the majorities in the House and Senate this year?
Well, our agenda next year, if we're fortunate enough to be in the majority, will be focused on exactly what you and I have been talking about. Crime, education, beefing up the defense of our country. The president's request for the Defense Department in this year's request doesn't even keep up with inflation. We got a war going on in Ukraine. We got big power competition with the Russians and the Chinese. We need to meet the demands of the international situation. So all of those will be on our agenda. We will not have the presidency for 2 more years. Obviously, we'll have to work with the administration to see what we can agree on. But we want to turn the let me put it this way. Biden ran as a moderate. If I'm the majority leader in the Senate and Kevin McCarthy is the Speaker of the House, we'll make sure Joe Biden is a moderate.
Speaking of Joe Biden, once again transitioning for me, Mark Penn, a Democratic pollster, we asked him this week what he thought about the president's poll numbers and why they were down. You've known the president for decades. Listen to this and I'll get your response on the other side.
He did have this image of being a kind of a likable Uncle Joe, you know, ice cream Joe, kind of friendly. And I think he's lost that.
Do you think he's lost it?
Well, I think his policies have not worked, beginning with the precipitous and ill-advised withdrawal from Afghanistan, which became kind of a metaphor for the incompetence that's been on full display during this administration. None of the policies they've pursued have worked out well. The $2 trillion they dumped on the economy last year against the advice of economists like Larry Summers produced the 40-year wave of inflation. Everybody's seeing that when they fill up their automobiles, when they go to the grocery store. Their policies have produced a virtually open border. The previous administration did a good job at the border. They reversed all those policies, and we've been paying the price for that. We have a crime wave in the country, and they're continued to promote policies that, in my view, are pretty much soft on crime.
To be clear, when I said has he lost it, I was referring to likability, is what Mark Penn said, that he had lost likability. So we'll see how that goes. Do you have a thought on that?
Yeah, I like the president personally. It's pretty clear to me that personality is, in my view, not what's driving his unpopularity. I think it's the policies they've been pursuing.
Interesting. And then finally, sir, we are in spring. It is a time for hope and renewal as Passover and Easter will be observed next weekend. In the latest NBC poll, 71% of people said they feel like the country is on the wrong track. So that's got to be made up of, that's a bipartisan agreement there, that the country is on the wrong track. I'm sure you're often asked this question, which is, do you have hope for the country? Do you think that there is a way for us to get through all the things that we're going through and continue to thrive and be the leader of the free world?
Absolutely. Look, this is the greatest country in the world. We have these rough spots, and we've had them for 200 years. We always find a way to correct when we're on the wrong path and move in a different direction. So there's no reason to be pessimistic about America's future. We are the most important country in the world, the freest country in the world, and let's remember that this Easter. We have a lot to be grateful for and thankful that we're in this wonderful, wonderful country.
Wonderful note to end it on. Senator McConnell, thank you for your time. It's always good to talk to you.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, and we heard him say that they're going to be taking control. And what we're hearing is It's looking very likely, especially if Democrats don't start getting things done here right away. Now, in the very beginning there, we did hear him say that they had almost reached an agreement on that $10 billion of pandemic spending, which has currently stalled. Now, we will see. They're trying to push that through. We heard the Title 41. We also have heard about additional phases for businesses they're trying to pass. And in addition to that, Build Back Better is still on the table, and we've got gas stimulus checks. So there is a lot that's currently coming out, and we're going to be seeing what they're going to be passing if they can get anything through, and if they cannot. Like we said, very likely Republicans are going to take control, and they said they're going to step in and get a handle on the economy. Now, let me know your thoughts. I will keep you up to date. But now let's talk about this $1,000 stimulus check that is currently being proposed in one state. So, link in the description below to this article that says Senator Daphne Jordan advances a common sense amendment to the state budget to establish $1,000 family freedom inflation relief checks to help New York families being hurt by inflation. So we've had a lot of state stimulus checks being proposed, and some have already been passed. Here's another proposal. Now, this is up from the $250 that we had heard before, so they're bumping it up 4 times, $250 up to $1,000. Now, the article says that New York State Senator Daphne Jordan tonight advanced a common sense amendment to the state budget that would provide $1,000, a family freedom inflation relief check, to help hardworking families financially hurting from rising inflation, coupled with New York's already crushing cost of living. Now, the amendment advanced by Senator Jordan on behalf of the Senate Republican Conference during tonight's Senate session was offered to Article 7, Senate Bill S8009, the state revenue bill, one of 10 bills compromising the 2022-2023 state budget. The proposed amendment was relevant to the revenue bill as it has amended the state tax law and would have provided much needed relief for hardworking parents across the state. Now, the amendment would provide $1,000 in direct relief assistance to qualifying families that are coping with high costs of childcare, paying for their child's education, and providing caregiver support to help families with elderly or disabled family members. Specifically, the amendment would have amended Section 606 of the state tax law to provide individual taxpayers who meet eligibility standards with $1,000 payments. So that is currently in the state of New York what is being proposed. It was $250, now they're taking it up to $1,000. And not sure if you noticed, but this is actually being proposed by a Republican. So we've got Republicans and Democrats that are pushing for those stimulus checks. Now, I'll be sure to keep you up to date on all of that here on the channel and let you know what's going on, as I did in my last video. So if you missed that last one, I covered several states and also gave you an update on federal checks as well. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Got any specific questions for me? Hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, hope this reaches you well. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope that you and the family have a blessed Monday, and I'll catch you in the next video tomorrow. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.